heady mixture of charcoal smoke, grilling fish and meat, spit roast and a traditional oven. Welcome to the delicious world of Croatian food, full of tradition and great flavour. Join our food safari to learn the secrets of making cabbage rolls, the best of Dalmatia, the famous seafood brodetto, the most delicious artichokes, rack of lamb and how to cook it to perfection, and sweets to make you swoon.
We have two cuisines. We have a Mediterranean flavored cuisine, which is seafood, shellfish and crayfish and all that, lamb, olive oil, garlic and parsley. And then we have a continental part of Croatian cuisine. You're talking cured meat, cheeses, milk and creaming products and maybe a little bit of lard, beautiful toasts and desserts. You know, so it's when you combine two of them, it's absolutely fantastic and different and one of the best cuisines in the world.
To say Denis Valcic is passionate about the food of his homeland is an understatement. A trained chef, he's had a one-man mission since he arrived in Australia 40 years ago to enlighten people about the delights of Croatian food through cookbooks, cooking demonstrations and cooking in restaurants. On Fridays, he plays to a home crowd at the Croatian Club in Sydney. Okay, Denis, on our tour of Croatian vegetables, is there one that is loved above all others?
Yeah, I suppose this one here, which is plain cabbage, of course. Use it for Croatian coleslaw. As you know, we don't use mayonnaise in Croatian coleslaw. We only use vinegar, oil, salt and pepper. Maybe another very important part of Croatian cooking, I suppose Mediterranean cooking, garlic. I use a lot of garlic. This is the must product. I mean,
used throughout?
Yes, I use garlic a lot. A household without a garlic, fresh garlic, I don't want to go into it. Potatoes, particularly this one, the chat or new potatoes. We can use them for potato salad, for Croatian potato salad. Again, it's no mayonnaise, and we eat a lot of potatoes. As Croatian, we use a lot of olive oil. In Dalmatian coast, almost every household makes their own olive oil.
And extra virgin you love,
Extra virgin depends. Most extra virgin, most for salads and things like that. Octopus salad, any other salad, to spread on the seafood or just sprinkle on the seafood, virgin olive oil. Okay, here we got the polenta. We use a normal polenta, not an instant one. We like to cook it just a little bit extra.
So this is made from corn, isn't it?
Yes. There are fine and there is a little bit coarser one. I think the coarser is much better. Use it for brodetto. We cook the polenta and then we put the pieces of brodetto fish on top of it. Paprika powder. Again, two kinds, mild and a very hot one. It's used mostly in continental part of Croatia, near the Hungarian border, right? For the fish paprikas and the goulashes and chicken paprikas. Ajvar, which is additive to our mixed grill, to roast pork, roast meats, cevapi or whatever.
What's it made from? Because it is a beautiful flavour.
It's a grilled and minced paprika. There are a very hot and a mild one, right? Mostly in continental part, not much in Adriatic coast. Croatian jams, the famous plum butter, because it's thick. It's made from the special small plums in Croatia, fully imported of course. And it's good because when you put it inside the biscuits and bake it, it doesn't run, it stays. Famous sauerkraut. Now we are really deep into continental part of Croatia. They love this stuff. Just next to it is same thing. It's a cabbage leaves to make Croatian cabbage rolls, right? The whole leaf is here, It's about 6 in each roll. You just unroll, you put some, meat, and you make a beautiful cabbage rolls.
It's nice because there are lots of vegetable in it, rice, meat, and with the mashed potato, it's salmon mashed potato is a substantial meal.
Oh, sounds
Especially,
great to me. Yeah. So this is a cabbage
Yes.
that's been pickled.
Yes.
Branka Ronchevic's dedication to her favourite dish, sama, is finding the best pickled cabbage. Many homes make their own by immersing whole heads in a salt brine for at least 6 weeks.
And is that still the salt on the outside? Oh, no,
It's
it's
not
ice.
the size, that's
Ice.
ice, yeah.
In a generous amount of olive oil, Branka cooks echalots, chopped speck and crushed garlic.
Garlic. And I put paprika. Paprika must not be over fried.
To a coarse beef and pork mince, Branka adds Croatian vegetable stock powder, pepper, salt and the paprika mix. Then beaten eggs, chopped parsley from her garden and arborio rice.
Now I'll mix with the hand. Now it's done. I think everything is mixed through, okay? Now I make rolls. And they stick together because of eggs and mince and everything in it. You just tuck this in and stays in. And when you eat, you just...
So you don't need toothpicks or anything?
No.
Branka places the rolls in a deep pot on a layer of finely sliced sauerkraut. For more flavour, she adds large pieces of speck on top of the cabbage rolls and more sauerkraut.
Covered in stock. Now we boil 1.5 hours.
Wow, that smells great. Beautiful.
Between meals or to start a meal, there are many cured meats. Prosciutto is something every family used to make. Some even made their own salami.
They already come at the smoking, they are ready to for sale.
40 years ago, Ivan Spehar came to Australia and began smoking and curing meat the traditional way.
This is a real traditional cooling from Slavonia. And this is a pure pork inside. And this casing here, what you see, this is appendix of the pig.
I wondered about the shape of it.
Appendix. This is appendix.
Yeah.
There's a lot of garlic inside and they're spicy. And also because the casing is from appendix and that gives them a different taste. Speck, called in Croatian suha slanina. You never see one house, Croatian house, I think, in the world without one of these. Or without the chabaj. We call it sremska kobasica. You don't see not one Croatian anywhere without it. Even the younger generations, they're born 3rd generation, they still eat that. This is in English called smoked hocks. In Croatian we call it suha koljenica. Koljenica means knuckle. You know, in winter especially with the cabbages, beans and all sorts of pea soups.
Probably the most well-known small goods are cevapcici, the skinless sausages beloved of Croatia that taste best cooked over charcoal. It's the glowing charcoals that are essential for Croatia's most treasured cooking implement, a marvellous outdoor oven called a peka, in which meats like pork belly and turkey pieces cook in their own juices with some garlic and herbs.
How do things taste when they've been cooked in the packer?
Well, it's a convection type of cooking, so the meat is infused with the flavour of the iron bark and the heat beads, and it retains its moisture. So that's the difference. So if you're cooking on an open grill, it tends to be a bit dry. So this technique, you can cook a lot of meat and you can cook a lot of vegetables all in one go.
Chef Frank Ronchevich says even though he cooks every day in his Cafe Xenia, he doesn't miss a Sunday overseeing the traditional lunch cooked in the peka, and says everything cooked under the metal lid tastes amazing.
So that's it. That's the pork belly, the potatoes and the turkey, and that's done. So what we'll do, we'll take it to the table. We're ready.
Another sort of roasting is seen in every village, especially during spring. Spit roasts are a good excuse to get people together, and it's the men's job to do the cooking. Tonchi Farak is from the same island the famous Marco Polo came from. He's the owner and general manager of Wildfire Restaurant on Sydney's famous Circular Quay. The methods of cooking at the restaurant, over open flame and with a wood-fired oven, are exactly what he grew up with. And he knows how flame can add its special flavour to any meat cooked, especially when you observe the rules. How do you tell that meat is good?
You could tell probably by the colour of it. It needs to have a little bit of fat as well. And also this one, we left the fat on it. Normally in the supermarkets, this part would have been taken off. They sell it where it's fairly young. So what we need to do is bring it home, put it on the rack in the fridge, let it age so the air goes through it for, say, a week. So if you want it
Really?
on a weekend, you buy it on a Monday. And what we do, we just stud it, and then you just put the rosemary, you can just go with your finger inside and leave some outside like that, because this will then burn and it'll impart the smoke and the flavour into the lamb. So we just keep doing like that until we do the whole lot. We just put the salt on it. I'll put quite a lot of salt, but it needs to penetrate inside the meat, you know. It's especially if it's a thick cut of meat, it's very hard to get it into the meat itself, you know. Okay, what we do now, we'll get the skewer and we'll just bring it the other side. What we're going to do is we want to seal the meat first, so we're going to leave the sides of the barbecue on.
That intensifies the heat,
Intensifies the heat. As soon as it gets a little bit of colour, we'll take the sides off and just cook it slowly.
So do you believe in resting meat, Tonchi?
Meat off the barbecue should be eaten straight off the barbecue, very, very hot. If it rests, then it'll be cold, you know. So.
I'm glad you said that. It smells so good. I don't want to wait.
So.
I'm going to try this beautiful crust. Wow. Oh.
Lots of flavour.
Yum, yum, yum.
Nice glass of red wine and perfect Sunday roast.
If you're talking about the Dalmatian delicacy, it's artichoke. Because you can only eat it for 5 weeks a year.
Now, how do you choose a good artichoke?
Artichoke, you have to feel it. It has to be hard. See the nice colors?
Yeah.
And it's shiny, and it's hard. Well, what we do, we'll take the outside leaves, certain point. Okay? Cut a stalk all the way to the end. Peel just a little bit where we took the leaf. You know why? All this is bitter. You cut it like that. Okay?
That's a lot of garlic there.
Well, it's all right. We're not going to use all of it. We'll just have some garlic. Continental parsley, right? Breadcrumbs. Freshly ground pepper. Be generous. Freshly ground salt. Mix it all together well. Artichoke in your thumbs, are they? Now, we're going to separate the leaves.
Oh!
All right?
I have never seen that. That is great.
Okay, so we put some stuffing. All right. Try to push it between the leaves. Okay.
Who taught you this technique?
My late mother. Yes, the old ladies are the greatest chefs in the world.
Yeah.
All right, now, it's just a little bit of virgin olive oil on the top to sink between the leaves. New or chet potatoes, just around the artichokes. Broad beans. Nothing wrong with the frozen one. Okay, just around the potatoes. And of course, green peas. All right. Now, a little bit more salt and pepper. But for cooking, I like to put some nice sea salt. Virgin olive oil. Be generous. Be generous. Okay. Sprinkling of the leftover stuffing will give you a flavor, nice flavor. Now we're going to add water up to the edge of the artichoke. Bring it to boil, and then very, very low, on the lowest point you can. Cover it maybe 45, 50 minutes.
That smells amazing. And look at the artwork. That's fantastic.
Nice, isn't it?
It is nice.
Isn't it nice? We're gonna try some or not?
Yeah.
So, with your fingers. Okay. Between your teeth, you got a soft part. You suck
Okay.
it, right? And
So
then
yeah.
and then you throw it out.
That is a lot of flavour.
Isn't it nice? Now we come into the base. And this is magnificent. Here's your piece for you. What is so good about this dish, Maeve? You play with leaves, right? You eat the broad bean, peas and potatoes, and at the end, you come to the beautiful base, and that's your finale.
Yeah.
You know, that's your finale.
$1 the red dory, $1 the mackerel.
With its thousands of islands, fishing is part of everyday life in Croatia. In fact, many Croatians who came here have dominated parts of our fishing industry. Being able to catch fish and cook it well is something you're almost born with. What lengths do you go to, Eno, to go and get good fish?
Sometimes I finish work at 1 o'clock in the morning and I'll get up at 4 to be at 5 o'clock at a fish market just to buy freshest and the best fish in the morning for a restaurant.
So almost as fresh as if you caught it yourself.
Exactly, yeah. You order straight up 1 entree risotto, 1 grilled chicken, please.
Eno Kovacic was born on one of Croatia's hundreds of islands, trained and cooked in Europe before opening the Dalmatino restaurant in Port Melbourne with his brother Natko. His aim is to show Australians how good the food of his native Dalmatia is. There's a famous saying that a Dalmatian is not worthy of being called a Dalmatian unless he can prepare a good brodetto, the famous fish stew of coastal Croatia.
To have a very good brodetto, you need to have 3 or 4 different kinds of fish. Doesn't matter if it's expensive or cheap fish, as long as it's fresh. Okay, eel, it's full of small bones, so what do you have to do with the eel? You sort of grab it for the head and then squeeze it all the way to the bottom.
Oh my God.
Tail.
Oh, Eno, the sound.
Yeah, so the small bones goes all the way down to the tail.
So there's still a bone in there.
There's still a bone in there that's gonna bring the flavor to the dish.
So which bones went down into the tail?
Just the small side bones.
Yeah.
Coral trout. This is one of the most prized fish in Australia. Head is the best part of the fish, of course.
Oh.
It makes great soup, or if you put it in a brodetto, it's really, really nice flavor. Rock flathead, it's a beautiful fish. Cut the fish on cutlets. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna marinate the fish just with a bit of garlic and olive oil. Fresh parsley. I'm also gonna put some scampi through it because it'll give different aspect to the bruet, bring some sweetness. Mussels too. So keep this marinated for a couple of hours. We're gonna just sprinkle the fish with a bit of lemon. So this will keep the fish whole. The flesh tend to stay in one piece.
I didn't know that.
It's just a really good Australian olive oil from Gippsland. First we start with the garlic. Before we start to brown, we put onion. So we just sweat off the onion until it's nice and pale golden color. You can put some tomato in it, you don't have to. Deglaze it with a bit of wine. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add some fish to it. More mussels. Mussels go last. Now we put salt and pepper. Now we add some white wine again. Also need some seafood stock. So it's basically seafood stew. The trick is shouldn't put too much water in it. If you put too much water or liquid, it sort of loses the flavor, and it's not like a chicken or beef that you can reduce and get a flavor back. If you put too much water at the start, you can't fix up the flavor. It has to be done at this stage. Bruet we don't stir, we just shake it, because if you stir the fish, you're gonna end up with all broken pieces of fish. Towards the end, we're gonna put some mussels, because mussels don't need much to cook, and they're the best when you just cook a couple of minutes, just to make dish more colorful and more beautiful. Boil it very fast to combine all the flavor, make emulsion of oil and the flavors.
Because to me, that's too high. But you're saying
No,
that
perfect,
makes it.
because olive oil just emulsifies with the liquid, and it sort of creates like creamy sort of texture. It's beautiful. You'll see. And just to make it more presentable and appetizing, we're going to put some cherry tomatoes. While it's cooking, we're going to make some polenta. For the bread, we're just going to cook it in the water and a bit of salt. So just whisk polenta while water is boiling. Very, very simple to cook.
It really looks so impressive.
If you want to try it.
I'm going to try some eel and some polenta.
Some polenta. Don't forget the sauce, because sauce is the most
Sauce
important.
is the most important.
Yep. Tastes nice, isn't it?
It is fantastic.
Yeah.
The world needs to know about that.
It's a beautiful dish.
It is a beautiful dish. Like many Mediterranean countries, making beautiful, luscious sweets is a great outlet for women's creativity. Cakes made with walnuts and almonds, plums popped into dumplings and dusted in icing sugar, chocolate taken to new heights. Mira Valcic is a legendary sweets maker. She bakes every day to supply a number of delis and cafes.
Unsalted butter, cream, vanilla sugar. Then I use my hands. Right? Plain flour and a baking powder. And I make it like triangles. Put the jam. Just put a little bit on each corner.
Oh, that is quite a little bit.
Roll it up. Right.
Gosh, every home should smell like this.
We roll them in.
Fascinating journey into a cuisine with people who live to eat. The delicious, spicy, fast-moving world of Singaporean food.
Nice right from the oven, isn't it?
Bloody
Beautiful.
hell, they're great. Afternoon coffee.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What's last?
What's last?